Hi everyone, thank you for watching this video poster. My name is Jingyi Mao. I'm from the University of Leicester. In this video, I'd like to share a teaching project from our Introductory Economics module, EC 1009, Introduction to Economic Data Analysis. The starting point for this work was simple observation. I noticed that when learning statistics, many students can complete statistical calculations, but they often struggle to understand why they learn this and how they can apply the skills in practice, especially in their future careers. So rather than removing theory, my aim was to bridge theory and practice to make statistics feel more meaningful, practical, and connected to real analytical work. In this video, I will show you why this matters and what I've changed in teaching and assessment to address this issue. I've been teaching stats to Year 1 undergraduate economics students for several years now, and one of the biggest challenges I faced is student engagement. Many students experience stats as abstract, formula-heavy, and disconnected from real-world applications, as we often play with artificial data set. Assessment can unintentionally reinforce this because traditional exams often focus on memorization, manual calculations, and questions are based on hypothetical scenarios. And all this leads to a consequence that students find it difficult to see the relevance of stats, the purpose behind why they are learning it, and how this skills relates to future employment. And of course, when students cannot clearly see why they are learning something, it becomes much harder for them to engage confidently with the subject. So why this matters? This matters because there is often a disconnection between what students experience at university and what employers are looking for. At university, students commonly focus on theory, calculations, and statistical procedures, but employers increasingly value data interpretations, problem solving, communication skills, and the abilities to use analytical tools. I don't think the issue is the content itself. We can't just skip theory and go through applications alone. Statistical theories is still essential. The challenge is translation. Students do not always see how statistical concepts connect to real analytical work. If we can bridge this through making those connections more explicit, it can significantly improve engagement because it helps students to understand why they are learning it, how it can be used in future careers, and what kind of transferable skills they are developing along the journey. So to address this issue, I redesigned the module around the idea of embedding theory within real analytical practice. I still teach the core statistical concepts and the theoretical foundation students need. But alongside this, students also participate in hands-on computer classes where they apply concepts directly to realistic data tasks. They move from a statistical concept to a real economic question, to applying analysis in Excel, to interpreting results, and finally explaining findings in context. This helps students experience statistics not simply as calculation, but as a tool for answering questions and making evidence-based decisions. I use Excel as the main analytical tool. This was a deliberate choice because Excel is accessible, widely used in workplace, and a student can complete the full workflow with a single software. Students come with diverse background, and I always start the first two computer classes with the basics of Excel to make sure that they are on the same level before we move to more advanced data analytical skills. The biggest redesign took place in the assessment. Previously, the module used an in-person exam, which mainly tested theoretical understanding through hypothetical questions. I replaced this with a group project using a real data set from the Bank of England. Students are asked to complete a sequence of analytical tasks that reflect the skills developed through the module as well as the real analytical workflow. So for example, the first task I ask is to clean the data, and it develops data literacy. Then they need to do descriptive analysis, which develops reporting and visualization skills. The assessment also tests knowledge on constructing confidence intervals and testing hypotheses. This helps students develop interpretation skills and evidence-based reasoning. Students also investigate an open analytical question to develop problem-solving skills. For example, one of the questions that I ask students is to answer whether younger households are more financially vulnerable than older households using the same data set. In addition to all this mentioned above, the group format itself helps develop transferable skills like teamwork, communication, collaboration, etc. Overall, this group project helps students to experience statistics in a way that feels much closer to real professional analytical work. Finally, I want to end this with a few practical takeaways from this project. It doesn't need to be a complete module redesign. Even small changes like introducing authentic data set or redesign assessment around applied tasks can help students better connect theory with practice. One important lesson is that relatively small teaching changes can significantly change how students experience statistics. Using real data set, asking real questions, focusing more explicitly on interpretation, and design assessment around real tasks can make statistics feel much more meaningful and engaging. As soon as students begin to realize the relevance of statistics in their real life and understand why they are learning it, engagement can significantly improve. Further to that, it also helps to build confidence, support employability skills, and encourage deeper understanding. The key message I would like to share is that students engage more deeply when they understand why statistics matters beyond the classroom. Okay, that's all I want to share today. Thank you very much for watching this, and I would be very happy to discuss the module further or share materials with anyone who is interested.